Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Kevin Asani. I am the Progressive Blacksmith, and I just got back from Politicon. And it was a really fun time. I just wanted to give you guys just a general breakdown of everything that I kind of experienced there. It was pretty much an 8 hour event. I got there a little bit later. I got there around like noon or so, and then stayed there until about 7. And I watched multiple debates, multiple panel discussions and stuff. As some of you may have seen on my Facebook page, I did some Facebook lives where I was just kind of walking around the convention center and taking a look at the bunch of the, I don't know, they had a bunch of like kind of stands, like concession stands, selling political stuff. They were selling like shirts and advertising for whatever, I don't know, company they run or whatever thing they're promoting or whatever. So that was pretty cool. As far as the debates and panel discussions and whatnot go, the first one I appeared for had Kyle Kulinski. It had let me actually look it up real quick exactly who it was so you guys know what I was what I was basically watching and what I had gone there for. Basically, I'd gone there for all the appearances that Kyle had made, and I'll get back. I'll get to meeting Kyle and stuff because that was pretty cool. But yeah, so the first discussion was called "What Now, Liberals?" with a question mark at the end. That started at 11:30 to 12:30, and it had Kyle Kulinski, Marcos Molitzos, Nayara Hack, Sally Cohn, Shermichael Singleton, and Zerlina Maxwell. So these were all people, all liberals basically, and they were just having a discussion about basically what direction liberals and progressives want to go in. And I only caught the last 15 or 20 minutes of it. It was pretty interesting. Kyle seemed to be doing a good job. Obviously, had a lot of fans there asking questions and saying he was they were secular talk fans and stuff. So I got about a 15 or 20 minutes footage on my camera for that. So that was cool. And then let's see, it was about an hour later. An hour after that was how the fuck are we going to get along? And that was Bakari Sellers, Charlie Kirk, Kyle Kulinski, Michael Knowles, Roaming Millennial, and Stephen Olukara. Stephen Olukara was the moderator. So yeah, that was a more of a fiery debate, much more as far as from what I saw, much more yelling back and forth, much more confrontational. The crowd was definitely involved. I taped that full thing. I'm going to be posting that video clip, hour-long video clip or debate later on. So that was a good one. Then the one following that was. By the way, that one featured a lot of different discussions involving. There was a big chunk of it that was between Bakari Sellers and Charlie Kirk, where they were just constantly going back and forth about Kanye West and what Bakari Sellers said about Kanye West and what Bakari Sellers said about black people or something, and how they're not educated, and then because they especially people like Kanye West. So Charlie Kirk was jumping on that a lot. He was getting all outraged, and then the other right winger Michael Knowles was saying how he's pro-life. Then he's but he says I'm pro death penalty, and I'm pro Guantanamo Bay, and I'm not in favor of due process, which Kyle pointed out and called him out on multiple times. But Bakari Sellers was getting pretty revved up the whole time, and while everybody else was kind of a spectator, mainly Kyle wasn't really saying all that much. He was just kind of calling out the two guys, but he was in agreement with Charlie Kirk on many things, and Charlie Kirk is a ridiculous right winger. So yeah, that was interesting. The next one was a debate between Kyle and Scotty Nell Hughes, who's apparently works for RT America, which is interesting. I didn't know that until I found out about his debate with her. He was originally supposed to go up against Ann Coulter. She backed out, and like a scared little rat just got out of it. And then later on, apparently she criticized, there's no liberals that are willing to take me on, and then somebody called her out for not debating Kyle, and she said, well, he's not, at my level or something, and he's basically called him a pussy and pretended like Kyle's the one who backed out, when in reality we all know actually what happened. And that was, the debate, but the debate turned out to be pretty good. I think it would have been much more confrontational if it was Ann Coulter there. So, I mean, a lot of things. There was a lot of things that Scotty Nell Hughes and Kyle were agreeing on. There was many fundamental things they were also disagreeing on. So it was a pretty good debate for the most part. But Scotty Nell Hughes, I guess, is, I mean, when people are expecting Ann Coulter and they get somebody that's not Ann Coulter, it's going to be maybe a little bit of a disappointment. So, I mean, that's kind of just what happened there. And then, so that's when I actually ended up meeting Kyle. And Kyle and I, we spoke for. I had to wait in the line because the line was pretty long just to meet him. So this guy was meeting, like, I don't know, it must have been at least 50 something people at least. And everybody got to meet him, shake hands with him. So I met him. I shook hands with him. I said, the first thing he said when he saw me, he says, "Why do you look so familiar?" And I just cracked up and I said, "Yeah, I'm Kevin. We did a podcast together with Mike Figueredo from Humanist Report, and and I've just I've talked with him back and forth on Twitter here and there a little bit, nothing too extensive. So, but I definitely obviously made an impression on him in some way, and he remembered me, and we talked, we took a couple pictures. I asked him to hopefully come on my podcast. He's a really busy guy, so he doesn't really have a ton of time for that kind of stuff. But I invited him on, and hopefully we can do that. I'm just gonna have to keep in contact with him because he's obviously, like I said, he has a busy schedule. So, so that was really cool. That was definitely one of the things I wanted to do. Going there and meeting him and stuff. He's always been a really big inspiration for me as far as kind of molding my ideological views and how I think about politics and stuff, how I carry myself, the kind of views that I have. I get a lot of my information from him because he's a very smart guy, and it was nice to meet him. And I told him that, and he's a very, very appreciative guy. He really connects with his fans and his viewership very well. So it was really nice to meet him, and he was absolutely courteous to me. Very nice guy. He said he's been following me for a while and stuff, and even though we haven't had a lot of interaction on Twitter, he obviously knows my name. He obviously knows who I am, stuff. So that was great. So that was really awesome, and that made my day. After that, I went and saw the debate between Cenk Uygur of TYT and Tucker Carlson. Compared to past debates that Cenk has had, this one was actually a lot less confrontational. It was not as it wasn't as back and forth and yelling at each other as much. I heard Cenk had a little bit of a thing. He had a little bit of a confrontation with Charlie Kirk apparently yesterday. I didn't see that yet, but I heard about it. I saw like a short clip of it where Charlie Kirk was apparently on stage and having a debate with Hassan Piker, who works for TYT as well. And Cenk got really angry and started yelling at him. Charlie Kirk tried to get off the stage, and I don't know if they came to blows. When talking to somebody that was explaining the incident to me, they said that they did not come to blows, but I'm sure they would have if they could have. And that was apparently one of the, I guess, major side stories of the first day of Politicon, which was Saturday. So, that was interesting. But yeah, the debate between him and Tucker was fine. I actually ended up having to leave with about, I think, 15 minutes or so left. I didn't want to actually beat the traffic getting out of there because I knew it was going to be a lot. So, yeah, I left early for that. But that debate wasn't bad. I actually just recently, last night, before coming to Politicon today, I actually went and watched the initial debate between last year's debate between Cenk Uygur and Ben Shapiro. I had already seen Cenk Uygur's debate with Dinesh D'Souza. A lot of people said Cenk lost both of those debates. I was at the debate between him and D'Souza in 2016, which was my first time I had been to Politicon, which was in Pasadena, which is a little bit further down from where I went today, which was in Los Angeles. And but the debate apparently with Shapiro, people said that he lost it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I thought he did really well in that debate. It just seems like a lot of people that are on ideological sides see things different ways, especially the right wingers. They just want to say that left wingers lose to everything to their supposedly intellectual thinking right wingers. And trust me, Ben Shapiro is no intellectual. Dinesh D'Souza is no intellectual at all. And I'm not even a huge fan of Cenk, these days. Cenk used to be in my opinion, used to be a hell of a lot more progressive. I think TYT and Cenk are catering way too much to the resistance. I think they're catering way too much to Hillary voters, to neoliberals, to all those kinds of people. Compared to Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kulinski, Tim Black, Humanist Report, all those kind of people. I don't know. That the TYT just doesn't really cut it anymore for me. But that doesn't mean I don't like them. I just don't really see eye to eye as much as I used to. So that's a big difference for me. I reminisce, a lot watching their older clips compared to now. So yeah, I thought that was a really fun day. It's something. I think this is something I'm definitely going to make a yearly thing out of. Maybe not necessarily going, for the whole weekend because it's a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. But certainly, yeah, I would love to do it at least one of those days for once a year. I'll take it. It's fun. It's fun as hell. You see a lot of different people. By the way, there was a ton of Trump supporters there. I saw so many people with MAGA hats on, Make America Great Again hats. It was pretty nauseating, but that's just the way it was. There was another situation I saw where a black dude was yelling at a white guy and saying like "fuck you," you guys, Trump and his supporters called Obama the N-word, and you guys are racist, and stuff like that. And this was the guy that was selling a bunch of like pro Maxine Waters and pro Michelle Obama shirts or whatever, kind of, I don't know, promoting like the black movement or whatever. So in the black female kind of movement. So yeah, that's fine, I guess. But I'm not a big fan of Maxine Waters, to be specific. But yeah. So largely that day was a success. I hope you guys liked the video footage I took. I'm going to be posting the full clips of the debates that I took. Hopefully those are good too. I don't have the best experience and the best ability as a cameraman, but I did my best to do it. I actually did not take my tripod with me. I had to put it on a little bit of a mount and then kind of hold it the whole time. So it was a little bit difficult, a little bit straining on my arm, but it's okay. I wanted to deliver for you guys. I wanted to, have footage of this great day. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys are going to take a look at that stuff. And obviously, everything was a success for me, and I'm happy. So I guess that's it. And I appreciate you guys watching on my Facebook page. I hope you guys enjoyed it all. I appreciate you guys watching this video. And I will see you guys next time. Progressive Blacksmith signing off. Take care.